Meathead on the Mic podcast. It's your boy, IFBB Pro Matt Butale, and today we're going to be talking about if it's forced, it will fail. All right, if it's forced, it will fail. So anything that you're trying to do, any goal that you want to set, mainly, of course, we're going to talk about fat loss. That the goals that you have set for that don't necessarily translate into, we'll say, the finished product. Like, you never really get that goal taken care of because you feel like you're forcing the situation, or you're putting yourself in like a really restricted box when it comes to what you're allowed to do, what you're not allowed to do, and that's probably holding you back more than you even have, more than you even know. All right, so we're going to be talking about that. That's the angle that we're hitting today. We're talking about fat loss. We're talking about, essentially, the way that you can change your routine, or at least things to look for if your routine isn't something that you find is really sustainable. All right, that's something that we're going to be bringing to your attention today. Ben, what's good? Manoj, what's good? Mr. Baxter, what is up? Let me know how your day is going when you join. Do that. Let me know how your day is going as we get into this one. Again, as usual, you're more than welcome, okay, to drop comments, drop questions, and at the very end of this podcast episode, I will reply to as many comments as I can. Sec here. Sec. I'm just gonna get this set up. Yeah. All right, that looks good. All right, people. We'll be diving into today's podcast episode very shortly. I just want to let you know that, again, if you do have any comments or questions, I'll answer them at the very end. All right, at the very end. And I'm not going to be ignoring you. I'm just going to be recording for the podcast for the people that are listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. So with that said, with that out the way, we'll be diving into today's episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yo, what's good, meatheads? Hope you're having an amazing day, and welcome to another episode of the Meathead on the Mic podcast. It's returning champion, IFBB Pro Matt Butale, and today I'm going to be coming at you with another topic as usual, okay? But today I'll be talking about, or breaking down, the reason why you struggle to burn fat and keep it off, or at least why the system that you're using isn't working, and what to look for in the system that you're using to either improve it, to change it, so that you can actually stick to the goal that you have set out for yourself, whether it's to burn 5, 10, 15 pounds of fat, put on 5 pounds of muscle, whatever it is. Okay. Because the thing is, for most of us, when we go online and we look at, or when we go online to research how we can burn fat or how we can build muscle in the most efficient way, we are often met with a lot of really fucking horrible advice that we end up following, and then it doesn't end up translating into the results that we initially have set out for ourselves, right? So I'm going to be giving you some pointers here and sort of talking you through, or walking you through mentally, what to look out for, or why it's so bad to just go with the flow, quote unquote, and move on with restrictions that make you feel like you don't even want to lose the weight in the first place, like crash dieting, like isolating certain food choices, like being keto, or only being like paleo, things like that. And we're going to be breaking that down today. We're going to be talking about why you can't actually stick to it. Okay. And long story short, it actually ties into this somewhat of a joke. It's going to sound a little bit juvenile, but it's true. All right. And you're gonna definitely understand this when I say it. And it's this: like a fart, anything that's forced turns to shit. All right. As funny as that sounds, as silly as that sounds, it's true. You can think about this when you think about relationships, when you think about, again, your fat loss journey. You've been forcing yourself to eat only fucking chicken and rice, and it's gone to shit now. You haven't even probably lost the weight, or if you did lose the weight, you probably gained it back and you weren't able to keep it off because of how restricted you were, because you were forcing yourself to do something that, in your heart you felt wasn't something you could do for a long period of time. Okay. Hence the saying, like a fart, anything forced turns to shit. Okay. So let's take a second to look at how you're losing weight. Okay. If you've really been trying to drop the body fat, to burn or melt the body fat, but it's not melting, you've probably been forcing yourself to eat that new meal plan that forces you to only eat 3 different kinds of foods over and over and over again. And you're probably fucking sick of it. Let's be real. You're probably sick of it, right? I mean, and that's honestly what causes you to go absolutely bananas on cheat day and undo your progress. Do you know what I mean? Can you relate to that? Let me know if you've ever been in that position where you wanted to lose so much weight or you just wanted to change your fucking body. Put on some muscle maybe, right? And you limited your food selection to like only rice, chicken, and fucking asparagus. Let's use that for an example. Whatever you limit it to, or even your calories, you limit it to only 1,200 calories, something really crazy so that you can lose weight really quickly. Okay, let's say that happened. How many times have you done that in a week? 5 days, you can deal with it, but by the time the weekend comes and your boys or your girls are calling and it's like time to go to the restaurant, time to go hit the bar, or we're having a movie night, you go absolutely crazy with your cheat day or your cheat meals because you crave them so much, not only because you haven't had them in a while, but because you only let yourself eat 3 foods. Like, how many times has that happened to you? Let me know if you can relate to that. If you try to be on par with the diet, just be sharp as possible, only eat 3 different kinds of foods, 1 different kind of food, whatever it is, and you notice you always notice yourself falling into this pattern of overeating junk food on the weekends for no reason. Let me know if you've ever experienced that. If you have, I'm talking straight to you because that's a direct sign that you are forcing yourself to diet harder than you actually need to. Okay, there's no real reason for you to cut out junk food permanently throughout your whole entire journey, let alone for your whole entire life. Let's put it this way: if you wouldn't cut it out of your life entirely, then you shouldn't cut it out of your fitness journey entirely. And this is what I mean by that. I'm not saying eat junk food and lose weight. That's definitely possible, but I don't recommend that because again, we already know it's called junk food for a reason, right? It's got junk in it. It's when we're talking about nutritional density, it doesn't have a good spread of macronutrients, protein, carbs, and fats, and it lacks the minerals, the vitamins, the micronutrients that other home cooked meals that are healthier have. Okay, like I'm not saying just eat junk food, but what I am saying is there's no need to completely cut it out because even me, myself, as a professional bodybuilder, I still enjoy. Fuck, I had pizza last night. I'll have pizza again today, right? Not to say that I have pizza every day, but I'm able to factor in when I eat junk food because I eat clean 80% of the time and 20% of the time I'll have whatever I want. And that doesn't mean a cheat day. No, it just means a cheat meal. And a cheat meal is something that you can replace maybe 1 or 2 or 3 meals, depending on how large or how many calories this meal is. You can use it to replace the remainder of meals that you would have for that day so that you still abide by your caloric requirements, meaning you're still going to be losing your weight that you want to lose, but you still get to have the junk food that you want because it doesn't make you exceed your overall caloric requirements. Again, because you're substituting it with, say, 1 meal, 2 meals, or 3 meals, depending on how many calories that cheat meal is, and it negates. Is it good to do all the time? No. Why? Because it's very hard to match or to hit your macronutrient requirements, like your protein, your carbs, and your fats with junk food substitutions. But it is still possible. It's just a little bit harder, right? So, with that said, it's been proven time and time again you don't actually need to cut out the foods that you love that are kind of shit in order to get the results that you want. Like, period. That's one thing that I want to bring to your attention, a misconception that I really want to, expose, right? Because it's not true. You can still lose weight and have a pizza every now and again, a burger every now and again, wings every now and again. You don't need to completely cut out something forever, indefinitely, in order to get a six pack. Yes, there is some sacrificing involved. Yes, discipline has to be a variable that you consider. But outside of that, it's not the only thing that you need to do in order to get that body you want. Fat food or junk food itself won't make you fat. It's the excess of calories that do. And once you are aware of this, once you learn about how to abide by a caloric requirement and not to go over it, then you can learn. It's essentially like playing with puzzle pieces, right? You'll have your core meals, maybe your breakfast, your meal one, and meal two. And then if you're eating 5 meals a day, the last 2 meals, you'll get the sum of calories from adding those 2 meals and then replace it with whatever, junk food you want. And don't do that every day, but it's definitely an option that you can exercise when you crave foods and you will not overindulge because you're not being so restrictive to the point where, oh, I can't have this. And then when it's time to have it, you just lose your mind. You don't even count the calories. You don't even factor it in because it already feels like you're sinning to eat that thing. Does that make sense? Okay, and this doesn't only apply to nutrition. All right, this doesn't only apply to nutrition, being forced into a certain position. Okay, maybe you've been forcing yourself to do a training program that you don't think is working for you based off of your lack of results, which might cause you to lose motivation and essentially abandon that 3-day gym streak you were so fucking proud about. Like, let me know if that's ever happened to you. You started going to the gym. Maybe again, this is the start of the year. We're the 13th of January. This might be you right now. We're at the start of the year. You got your streak going on. You're killing it. You're crushing it. Everything's going good. And then out of nowhere, you're like, fuck, it's like 3 days in. I don't see my abs coming up. I don't see my arms getting bigger. I don't see my man boobs going down. My love handles going away. And then you lose motivation and you abandon that streak that you were so proud about. Maybe you went for a week, maybe you went for 3 days. And like if that's you, here's the message. Here's the message. If that's you, I've got something to say because again, that's a really, really, really big sign that what you're doing is not going to be working for you long term based off of the difficulty level or just your overall incompatibility with that overall routine. Here's my message. If you feel too restricted with your meals or you're bored with your workouts and you're not getting the results that you want to get, you need to stop forcing yourself to repeat the same approach. You know that saying by Albert Einstein? I'm not even going to say it because you know what it is, and it refers to insanity. Doing something over and over again and not getting a different result, and you're like insane, whatever. That's the saying. Anyway, so instead of doing that, repeating the same approach over and over and over again, and not getting a different result, you need to expand your knowledge to incorporate other meals, other workouts, maybe even other supplements and tricks, etc., so that you don't have to force yourself to get results. Okay, and like let's also backpedal here too as well. Transforming your body is not an overnight process. That's something I've also got to say here. Yes, you want to be hyper vigilant and making sure that you are also, monitoring the progress that you are getting. But progress doesn't just happen in 3 days, a week, 2 weeks, even, right? For most people, 2 weeks, you'll start to see changes. But this is the point. Even if you are trying something and you are not getting results, it might just be that you need to do it for a little bit longer too. And in that sense, technically, yes, you would have to force it because again, this is new to you. This is a habit that you are trying to develop that you never had before. And in a sense, at the beginning, it might feel like you're forcing it until you get the results. Then you'll realize it's worth it, and then it's less of a forcing thing, and then it becomes more of a habit, right? But if you are, say, doing something for three weeks, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, whether it's for your nutrition, whether it's for your training, and you're noticing that nothing's really changing, then that's when I would really go back to the drawing board and start to look at all the other variables. Am I counting my calories correctly? You know, is this the correct amount of calories that I need to be consuming? Is this workout program really working for me? Am I getting stronger? Is my endurance getting better? And then you start to go to the drawing board, ask those questions, and based on those answers, you are going to make the changes required in order to not only make it so that you get your results, but so that you get to keep them by making them sustainable. And how do you make it sustainable? Simple. You do something long enough until you get results, and then tweak it enough so that you are essentially autopiloting the results. And what that means is you are reducing the amount of effort that it requires for you to progress or to hold or save your progress that you've got with your fitness journey. Meaning, instead of just giving yourself something, a meal plan that you don't really want to eat because you just feel like you're bored of those foods over and over and over again, instead of doing something like that, you learn, expand your knowledge, and you incorporate other meals. Okay, other food groups. You don't cut out food groups. You incorporate junk food every now and again. You make it so that it's sustainable. You make it so that you can do it for the rest of your life, and you won't feel like you're dieting. That's the point. And then the same thing goes with training. Okay, you want something that's going to work for you. You don't want to be doing squats if you've injured both of your knees in the past, and you really want to build some legs or you want to grow an ass or whatever it is. Maybe squats itself might not be the movement for you, and you've got to substitute it with uh, maybe hip thrusts or leg extension, some other movement that will give you less pain in your knees because you had injured knees, something of the sort, right? So there's always something that you can do whenever you expand your knowledge around training, around meals, and around just overall your process when it comes to changing your body. There's a lot to learn and there's a lot to change. Nothing is ever set in stone. And I need you to understand this. And if you don't, you're going to continue forcing yourself to do the thing that you know isn't fucking working, but you read online is going to work. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? If it does, just sit there silently and just nod your head. Just sit with that. Let this marinate in your brain. All right. You need to stop forcing yourself to repeat the same approach if it's not working, because you will fail. I promise. And I'm not saying that to drag you down or anything, but you kind of know this already, which is why the weight on the scale isn't changing or the image in the mirror is the same. Okay. You have to expand your knowledge, incorporate other meals, other food groups, other workouts, other supplements, tricks, so that you don't have to force results because they will flow naturally as you stay consistent with expanding your knowledge and, more importantly, applying that knowledge. Okay. So there is no one diet or one workout split fits all. That's impossible. And going on YouTube or Google or wherever it is that you're getting your information and assuming that that's how it can be applied to you is a big mistake. Okay, maybe there are some things that you can take from them that you can, that might actually work for you. Cool. Put that into your repertoire. Keep that in one of your practices for nutrition or training, but don't make that the holy grail. Even as you go along with your journey, you'll notice some things stop working that used to work, and some things start working that didn't used to work. Right? So you have to expand your horizons when it comes to the knowledge that you are putting in your head that you can apply in your life so that you can change your body. And yes, this is, I guess, to some people rocket science, but if you don't know what to do, there are literally professionals like myself that can help you. Yes, Google's free. Yes, YouTube is free. No, coaching is not. But there's a reason why it exists, even though everything else is free. It's because the application is what people struggle with. The accountability is what people struggle with. Maybe you have the best program, but you just can't even fucking stick to it. And you're trying to force yourself to do it, but you can't even get yourself to do it because you just don't value your words like that. You say you're going to go to the gym tomorrow and you don't even go. You say you're going to eat clean tonight and you're having burgers. It's like you don't trust your own words, so you might need someone to help you or give you that kick in the ass so that, you're doing the thing that you want to do. Make sense? It's time you either learn the truth, which is, honestly, go on Google and YouTube. The truth is there. You can figure out what I'm saying is not new. Okay, you can go on YouTube, you can find many messages similar to this. All right, and you can apply it to yourself, and hopefully it works. But if you notice that you're that person that kind of makes those New Year's resolutions and doesn't follow through with it, or procrastinates more often than not, I'm not calling you out and saying you're a piece of shit. But what I am saying is you definitely are wasting your time. Okay, and if that's you, I honestly am just putting this out there. I request that you actually hire a professional, an experienced professional, to help you pave the way based on your specific preferences, goals, tastes, wants, and needs. Okay, because they can all be attended to. And like, if you're tired of forcing yourself to stick to a program that you know isn't working, whether it's a training program, whether it's a nutrition program, whether it's both, all I'm gonna do is say this before we wrap this up. If that's you and you know what you're doing isn't working and you know that you need help, DM me, force, and I'll see if I can help you come up with a way to make that consistency as easy as possible for your fitness journey, for your fat loss journey. Because if that's the number one thing you struggle with, forcing yourself to stick to a program, forcing yourself to stick to a goal, hit me up. DM me on any social media platform. I'm on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, anywhere. Just Matt Butale, Mattbutale. Hit me up. Let me know that you listened to this episode, and I'll hook you up. All right? That's it. That's all. If you liked this episode, share it out with a friend. Thank you so much for your precious time and attention. Also, guys and girls, I want to let you know this is the start of the year. We're the 13th of January. Okay. If you have been making commitments to yourself year after year after year and not following through with them, this episode is also, I hope it also serves as a reminder for you to actually move forward with the goals that you set previously. Okay. So if this episode got you uncomfortable in any kind of way, believe me, I wasn't doing that on purpose. I'm not trying to make you angry. I just want to make you realize. That's it. Okay? Don't forget to support this screenshot it and share it out to anybody that might need to hear this. Screenshot it, put it on your Instagram, screenshot it, put it on your Twitter, whatever it is. Share it to somebody that you know might need to hear this information. Okay? Let's embrace your inner meathead together. It's been nice chatting. Hope you like what today's topic was about. IFBB Pro Matt Vitale signing out. Boom. All right, podcast is recorded. Got some comments here on TikTok, and then we're gonna fly out. Let's see here. Appreciate the follow, MJ. See keto too. Yeah, I hear you. Christelle says hello from Canada. I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in, Christelle. Gym and diet, just gotta control your cravings, definitely. Ashira says little Reese, don't know what that means. I don't know what you're trying to do. Shaq says, oh, say word, what's good, bro? I appreciate you, Shaq. Shaq, I appreciate the follow. Bro, you're like the worn out Snoop Dogg. That's funny as shit. I can't lie. But that was from the left field, bro. You got me. I didn't even see that coming, but dude told me I look like Snoop Dogg. I don't know if I'm offended. But I appreciate you for tuning in, man. Oh man, that's funny. That's no. I know you're not trying to be rude, but hey, yo, say what you're gonna say, bro. This is online. I'm not gonna get mad or whatever. Manraj says best glute exercise to grow only my left glute. For those of you who don't know, he's a natural nomad. He's one of my buddies for like years. He pulls up and he trolls sometimes, so it's all fun and games. I'm not gonna answer your question though. Check the DMs. Tyson, what's good? David, thanks for tuning in. Brian, what is up? Dan, Adam, what is good? Bert, De Niro, hey, what's happening, bro? You know what it is. Happy New Year's, fam. I see you, brother. See you, man. You know what it is. It's good shit. All right, people.